Hi, I'm Catherine Reed. I served as Executive Director of the North Carolina Commission of Inquiry on Torture. You've heard from Christina that since aero contractors in North Carolina's role became apparent, a grassroots network of people of faith and people of conscience has been organising in North Carolina to seek transparency and accountability. This group of dedicated activists supported the creation of the North Carolina Commission of Inquiry on Torture. The Commission was officially launched in March 2017 as a non-governmental, non-partisan organisation. Its mission to investigate and establish public accountability for the role that our government and state resources played in helping to facilitate the US rendition and torture programme. The NCCIT included a blue ribbon panel of 10 policy experts, academics, veterans, including Jim Coleman and Patty McGaffigan here today. It was established to do the job that government has refused to do: investigate North Carolina's involvement in the US torture programme, educate the public about it, prevent it from happening again, and to make North Carolina a leader against torture and rendition. The Commission held public hearings in Raleigh in December 2017, including testimony from national security experts, former detainees and their families, lawyers, doctors, and interrogators. It conducted a careful process of investigation and research with the support of Duke and UNC law schools, submitted public records requests, and last September released its groundbreaking report, Torture Flights: North Carolina's Role in the CIA Rendition and Torture Programme, which is available at nctorturereport.org. The report reveals that North Carolina's role in the CIA programme was larger than previously thought. North Carolina-based aero contractors carried out 80% of all CIA renditions between September 2001 and March 2004. 48 men and 1 woman who was 4 months pregnant at the time of her rendition. In Chapter 4 of the report, a database of these detainees, including where they came from, where they were rendered to, and what their current status is. The Commission heard from survivors of the programme and psychologists that the very process of rendition was designed to dehumanise the individual and was so brutal that it constituted part of their torture. The report also highlights, through the public records requests, the neglect and dismissive tactics employed by state officials, including the former Attorney General, now Governor, Roy Cooper, towards citizens and their calls for accountability. As you heard from Christina, despite dozens of formal requests made by citizens to state elected officials, records requests reveal that there was no evidence of internal deliberations by the North Carolina Department of Justice or the governor's staff on what to do about the state's role in torture. Instead, elected leaders seem to regard torture opponents with suspicion. And finally, central for the discussion today, the report also includes an exploration of North Carolina's legal obligations and its options for action in the face of federal inaction. The report includes recommendations for federal and state policy change, and we are very pleased to see some of them incorporated into this bill. HB740 would allow our state to start addressing its participation in rendition and torture. It removes barriers to investigation by the Attorney General, allows past violations to be addressed, and helps ensure further renditions to torture are not unwittingly aided by North Carolina taxpayers. North Carolina citizens have shown that they have the stamina and determination to prevent the use of torture and rendition by their state, and will not stop until that is accomplished. Indeed, in the report's foreword, written by former General Counsel of the Navy, Alberto Mora, he writes of these citizens: "As important as the content of torture flights are, an equally important story is to be found in the story behind the story. That is the character, grit, and persistence of the North Carolina citizens whose tenacity to uncover how their state was used in the CIA program led to the formation of the NCCIT. When concerned citizens first learned that rendition flights involved in the torture program operated out of North Carolina, these individuals acted, and they have not stopped acting. They investigated, protested, cajoled, disrupted, rallied others to their cause, called on local and state authorities to perform their duties, organised, fundraised, and helped launch the Commission. Torture flights and the Commission are many things, but they also represent citizen behaviour at the highest pitch of civic responsibility, models of grassroots citizen engagement and action, and an inspiration to all Americans."